What's up everyone? It's your editainer Aran. 안녕하세요. 여러분의 에디테이너 김아란입니다. Today I'm having my mom-in-law who is American and my sister-in-law who is also American take the Korean 2016 college entrance English exam, and I'm so curious to know how they'll do it because it's such a big deal in Korea that even airplanes are not allowed to fly for the English listening test and stuff. And also it's been talked about a lot even outside of Korea how difficult it is, and I've been through all of it. It's so notorious. So I'm going to give them a few questions with the minute and 45 seconds per question, and then after that I'll ask them some questions I got from you guys on Instagram about what they think about the test and what they think about how intensely Korean students study for the test and how it's different from the American SAT or ACT. So I'm pretty excited, and if you are also, please hit the like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
Okay, in the box it says rather they will happen only through state intervention based on parliamentary decision. When the government invested tax dollars in whatever capacity exists. Okay.
It's time.
I think it's number 5. I think it goes in number 5.
That's the answer!
It made me nervous that I was going to mess up on English. The vocabulary is very high level.
Good job.
I felt like I had to hurry. Like, oh, that's not very much time.
All right. The second question. 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to look at the answers real fast.
Oh, good strategy.
Okay, so temporal resolution is particularly in the What? Oh my.
You have 10 seconds left.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. This is hard. Some of them I did not understand. I got the general idea. Man. I'm gonna say the answer is 2. 1?
The answer is number 2. Okay, that is right.
Oh, that one's hard. Trying to get in the time. So is that how much time they have?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. You really have to think about that.
Yeah. There's no
first
time to
one-
think. The students are trained not to read all of the...
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh great, this one's just like it.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Grief is unpleasant. Would one not then be better off without it altogether? Oh my, that's hard. Whoever feels is... I'm gonna try skipping it and see. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Oh my. Oh gosh, this is hard. I'm gonna say number 1. I'm gonna say 2?
Wrong. The answer is number 1.
Yes! Woo!
Was it easy?
It's hard to read it that fast. Well, I did your theory of not reading the entire thing, and I just read the sentence before it and the sentence including the answer.
What if you read the entire thing? You might have not.
Well, I started to, but the sentences were worded very weird, and that would distract you. That would take time trying to understand why they worded that question so weirdly. I mean, I was getting the point of it. So it makes sense, but I wouldn't speak that normally. But
yeah.
The blank was hard. I didn't feel like any of them was what I
The last question. 3, 2, 1.
I don't know what that word is. I guess. Oh my. I'm going to say 1. 3.
The answer is number 1.
Oh. Okay. If I had longer to think, but I felt like I had to hurry and not really like. Woo.
That's how I felt the entire exam.
I cannot imagine.
Alright, so I have some questions from my Instagram followers.
Okay.
How difficult is this for you? And how difficult do you think it will be for Korean students for a college entrance exam?
Oh wow. I think it's very difficult. It would be so difficult because it was difficult for me. This very high level of vocabulary. Definitely like English college level words. So I
I can't imagine doing this as a second language.
Like, I've spoken English my whole life and it was still difficult, and there were still words in these passages that I don't 100% know what they mean. When I was reading one of them, I was like, oh, I don't know that word. Maybe if you're really good at reading and grammar, maybe it would be easier. But I think like having that time limit would be so hard.
Is the vocabulary and the knowledge here used on a daily basis?
No. There were words in here that I never used.
Here and there were some words that I would never use.
Temporal resolution. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Do you think this might be an effective way to learn English?
To learn it? Man, I don't know.
I'm thinking there probably is a better way.
Maybe it would be an effective way as far as like sentence structure, but
This just seems too stressful.
I think it would be difficult to use this as your only source of learning English. Like, I think you need to start somewhere more simple.
To me, if the point is how well does somebody understand English, then it shouldn't it should be about understanding the English, not trying to figure out complicated concepts at the same time. How do you know it's not, I know pretty much all of this vocabulary, but the concepts within it were really difficult for some of it. So I don't know about how effective it is on helping somebody learn English. It just doesn't seem very fair to me as a way to test how they know English.
Oh, that's a good point, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. And someone said a lot of Korean students study English over 10 years, and some of them do really well on the test, but still find it hard to carry a simple conversation in English.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is? And what do you think about that?
I could see that would be true. If anytime you're studying for a test is going to be different than studying for the skill of using the information. So that can be across all kinds of different subjects.
I think that is because when you study English, you learn proper English, or what I would call like textbook English, which makes sense, but that's not how we speak like on a day-to-day basis to each other. So we use a lot of slang. It's like street talk versus textbook talk.
It'd be more helpful probably to each individual to learn how to do conversation as opposed to learn how to take a test.
This is one of my followers. My school starts at 9 a.m. and it ends at 6 p.m.
Wow.
As soon as I have dinner, I study until 3 or 4 in the morning and then go to bed. What do you think about this?
I don't think you're getting enough sleep. That is not, how do you sleep?
That sounds so crazy to me.
That to me is ridiculous.
I feel like you guys would be a lot smarter than I am.
Have you stayed up this late to study?
Never, ever.
Never?
Never.
I have so many times.
No. I've probably never stayed up to study. I would say the latest I have ever studied is probably like 9 p.m.
What?
And that was in college. No, never.
And the longest I've ever studied, like sitting down and studying and just straight, is only like a couple hours. I cannot imagine.
I can't think that late. My brain turns off.
What time did you go to bed when you were in high school?
Every day in high school, I would go to bed by 10 o'clock at night.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to college.
You went to college.
Did really well in college.
You got a degree.
Got a degree in computer science.
Happy.
I taught college classes after that. I worked for a university as a computer programmer.
Wow.
There's no way I needed to stay that much.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. Wow.
Yeah, well, I would say wow also. I don't see how you survive on that little bit of sleep.
Well, there is this thing, I don't know if people still believe in this, but when I went to school, people said if you sleep for 4 hours, you're gonna fail. If you sleep for 3 hours, you're gonna
And
do
that's,
well.
like teenagers need a lot of sleep to be healthy. Babies need a lot of sleep and teenagers need a lot of sleep. So that's not healthy. Are you guys sick a lot?
So crazy.
I feel like you guys are too extreme on the studying end and we're too extreme on the playing end. There's got to be a happy medium in there that would be ideal, you know.
That would be
So,
great.
Yeah.
What is it like to prepare for the SAT or ACT here in America? How did you prepare for it?
Yeah, to prepare, they have like study books you can buy. Also, there's some high schools offer like an ACT prep class that actually gets you ready to take the class. I didn't do anything to get ready for it.
I probably studied like 6 hours.
I just thought, hey, I know what I know, and we'll just go and see how it goes.
I assumed that there wasn't much I could do at that point to get ready because it's supposed to be a cumulative knowledge up to that point, like what you've learned for the last 11 years of school. What are you going to do at the last minute to get ready for it? I know some people put, like if you wanted to get into a really high university because you want to be a doctor or something like that.
AKA Christopher Elder.
Like Chris.
My brother studies a lot more than that.
Chris.
I did about average.
And I did well. It wasn't that big a deal. I don't even know what I studied now. I think I had some book that just gave me practice questions so you kind of knew what the test was going to be like. It was more like preparing for the test, like as a test as opposed to studying a bunch of subjects to get ready.
What is the SAT or ACT in America like?
Wow, it's been a long time ago that I took it. So I know there was math and reading and I believe science.
Do you take any foreign language?
No, there was no foreign language on the ACT. The whole test altogether was just a few hours, 3 or 4 hours long, I think.
So do you guys do the SAT or ACT on different dates or all on the same date?
Different dates.
Wow.
There's different days that you can choose from throughout the year. You pick
Throughout
a
the
day.
year?
Yeah. Like when I took it, none of my friends took it the same day as I did. And you don't even have to take it when you're a senior. You could take it when you're a junior in high school if you want.
And you can retake it.
What?
You can retake it. I think you can retake it as many times as you want. So some people take it when they're like younger, when they're a junior, and then they kind of see how well they did and see what areas they need to study to do better if they're wanting to get a higher score.
Oh, wow, there's only one chance on one day in Korea. I think it's really good that you guys have a chance to retake it because the whole point is to learn.
Yeah.
So if you did bad, you can learn it and then you can retake it and that should still count because you've learned it.
Oh yeah. But I was fine with my score.
Have you heard about anyone committing suicide because of the SAT or ACT?
No, never. Never. I mean, I think if people do bad or do worse than they wanted to do, then they just retake it. But I personally didn't know anyone that retook it. Everyone was just fine with what they got.
Any words for Korean students?
I feel bad for you. You shouldn't have so much pressure on one day. What if you're sick? It's too much pressure for your life to be on one day, on one test. And I also don't like that you're studying so many hours. I think go to school, spend 2 hours max. I would not think it should be more than that after school. And that's it. Then have some fun, relax, sleep. Sleep is good.
That's how you spent your high school years?
Yeah, 3 or 4 days a week I would study.
Then what did you do?
I worked, I had a job, did things with my friends. I don't know, just relax and have life.
What I would say is education is amazing and it is something that I think I'm thankful for and I think we should be thankful that you as a Korean and us as Americans, we live in a country that we have the opportunity to get education. But I think it's important to remember that education isn't everything. Like, there's so much beyond where you go to college and even what you study in college. I've seen that so many people go to college and spend so much money getting their degree, and then they don't even use the specific degree that they got. They end up doing something completely different, which I think is fine. But I think just remember, like, even if you don't do well on this test, or even if you don't get into your dream school, there's so much more in this world that it has to offer. And, you know, God can still use you in amazing ways. Even if you don't go to the best school, you can still be very successful, and you can still help so many people. And the world is such a big place with so many opportunities. So don't get so focused on such a small part of that. Yeah, and just get out and experience new things and have fun.
What I would say is study as much as you want and learn as much as you need, and practice it as hard as you can. Education is important, and learning a foreign language is great. I don't regret studying hard. I regret not knowing that I was more important and valuable than the school I got accepted into. So we have to constantly remind ourselves that we are bigger than what we know, and we are stronger than the pressure we go through. Please watch this video and listen to what I had to say as a person who also went through all of this. To those who are suffering from the test result, or anybody that are limiting themselves. This is it for today. I hope this video was informative and interesting. What was most interesting to me, though, out of all, was the fact that they didn't know what the questions were for the questions. Like, they didn't know what the questions were asking them to do. So behind the scenes, mom didn't know what to do. So she kept on reading and reading, ended up reading 2 passages, thinking they were one thing, having no time left. And she was wondering, where's the question? And that was so crazy to me. That was so mind-blowing, because I immediately know what I'm supposed to do, just looking at any passage. To me, they were so obvious, but they were not to them. So that means we're just really, really used to them. So yeah, that was really interesting. So please let me know what was interesting to you guys down in the comment section. And for your information and for your sake, I made a file that contains all the subtitles that I used in this video. And you can find it in the description box. Check out the link, and you can look at them, use them, print them out, study them, or whatever you want to do. And I made a file for this video subtitles as well, which is 44 page long. So it's up to you guys. If you want to use them, please go ahead and check them out. And yeah, I think that's enough. And don't forget to like the video to show your appreciation. I'll appreciate you. And please subscribe to Aran TV if you'd like any videos on English and Korean American life and culture. 그럼 다음 시간에 만나요. 안녕!